So here's the New Zealand 10 that's starting. You can see the list on your screen now. This is the women's under-23 final, and here's the Colombian top 10. Didn't name a coach in their team, but I'm sure they have got one. So the selections have been made. This is the under-23, and New Zealand and Colombia, they're the two strongest teams here in finals night. New Zealand have 6 out of 8 categories finalists. Colombia and Australia have 3. And then South Africa, Great Britain, Netherlands and France all have 1 apiece. We're due into the water in about 2 minutes' time. So here we go. The Colombians are very joyed up, having seen their under-19 men's absolutely dominate the New Zealand team. And over on court number 1 at the moment, it's Australia-New Zealand in the under-23 men's. New Zealand, I believe, are big favourites in that category. They've dominated all week in the under-23s. I'm keeping an eye on the official website, of course, of all the results. All the updated information is on there for you to take in to your heart's content. New Zealand only lost 1 match in their round-robin group. Australia lost 2, so that's the under-23 men's side of things. That's taking place now on court 1. And here on court 2, well, New Zealand absolutely dominant. They had a goal difference of plus 76 from their group stage, and they are expected to win this match quite comfortably here in the female under-23. In their head-to-heads, New Zealand won 5-0 and 4-0. So, fair to say, New Zealand are strong favourites here in this match. Getting ready to start. The clock counting down. And here we go for the World Championship final, the under-23 women's category, New Zealand versus Colombia. New Zealand and the Whitecaps, strong favourites to take this title. And already we're called to the surface. New Zealand haven't conceded a goal against these Colombians in the 2 matches so far. So definitely are the favourites in this match. Colombia starting strongly though, pushing down hard. Our person operating the camera should really be moving it left at this stage. Thank you very much. And Colombia pass it across goal. We have seen before already with the New Zealand-Colombia in the under-19 men's, where New Zealand were strong favourites, but Colombia actually put a real number over on them. Can the Colombian girls, or ladies, I suppose I should say, under 23 level, can they do the same here? Ball, the puck is pushed up to the side wall. New Zealand looking to move it down. And we'll come to the surface. It's the high-pitched scream for court number 2. Down underneath. Below the water, please. Court number 2. I'm on court 2 now, by the way. You've got me to come on court 1. No, I'm Colombia push up from midfield, breaking back. Pool's looking nice and clear here this time in the morning. Only 2 more matches to go. And we go to the surface. And that one goes to New Zealand, who start putting the pressure on Colombia here. Only 2.5 minutes gone. Colombia defend well, pushing it out to the right. That's still the pressure comes in from New Zealand on the left-hand side. Colombia have got bodies down, but New Zealand have put it in quickly. This could be a goal. Yes, a goal's been given. Very nice manoeuvre. And that's a goal for New Zealand. And there you go, 1-0 up. So New Zealand taking a nice early lead. That was a simple goal, wasn't it? Made it look very easy indeed. And Colombia, that's really going to affect their confidence, conceding a goal so easily against New Zealand. Here's a really strong swim from the Kiwis down the right-hand side towards the Colombian goal, but well defended by just the one Colombian back. The goalkeeper had to do a job there, and she's moved it out to the side wall. New Zealand coming in already though, pushing hard. Plenty of support, and we'll go to the surface. New Zealand making a move in on goal. It looks as if we've got an extra man here, but that's stopped. But it's stopped illegally by the looks of it. And that will go. That's going to go New Zealand's way. So an illegal stop, and Rincon is in the penalty box, and it looks like we're going to have another one as well. So we're going to see a double power play here for New Zealand. 6 against 4. Yeah, the Colombians have got to be careful here. They don't want to be delaying this. Yeah, delay of game called here. So yeah, there was Nathan Peels next to me just explaining that the third person had to clear out, so New Zealand will get the penalty. We'll get the free, and here's an opportunity. 6 against 5. One of the Colombians is back in the water. New Zealand scored easy as last time out. And that one's going to go Colombia's way, so puck was stopped. Yeah, puck was stopped by a hand there by the New Zealanders. And now, this is the last match on court 2. We've only got 2 more matches after this on court 1. New Zealand push it down the wall side. Looking to pop the puck out into the middle. And there's an opportunity. This could be a chance. Oh, it's too easy. Too easy for New Zealand. It was 2-on-1 in the end. The Colombians just didn't have enough men in the water. Coach is calling a timeout. And, well, the Colombians just didn't have enough defense down there, didn't they? They were outnumbered. Kiwis are enjoying that one, and Danielle Gibson was the goal scorer, and she puts New Zealand 2-0 ahead. Well, I'm going to hand over to my co-commentator here, Nathan Peel, who's come all the way from GB, and he's an absolute hero, because the reason those centre cameras are moving is because this man brought these motors from the UK, having had all our rivers flooded, and he's going to take you through the rest of this match. Here you are, Nathan. Good luck.
Thanks there, Adrian. Okay, so just a little bit time here left in the timeout, giving the Colombians time to sort of just reset and get ready to go. Obviously 2-0 down, they've got a bit of a fair job to do now. It all seemed far too easy there for the vice skipper of the Kiwi team there for that second goal. Here we go. A nice switch, but immediately the Kiwis have retained possession, and another really strong drive there on the right-hand side. Staying down, continuing, recycling. And as you can see with this, the idea here and where real success comes in is just the fact that they've just got bodies there on the bottom. They're all playing for each other, and just numbers and just overwhelming there. It's all, as Adrian was saying earlier on, it's all very, very easy there for the Kiwis. You'll notice there the Colombian is taken into the corner, safest place to go to. But they do have to wait. They do have to wait. The referee on the surface, you can't see at the moment, is signalling an advantage. So they're sort of playing and just waiting on. Colombian second lady in there. If they call, they're just calling now, they need to be very careful, because that third person has to get it out. Once again, they're signalling a corner rule. And actually, they're very, very lucky there, because pretty much it's a deliberate delay of game with a corner rule. So they should result always in a time penalty being given, as well as that. And in fact, it looks like the chief referee is calling his team across. Yep, and we're whistling here on the surface, which is why we're having a bit of a sort of break in play here. The deck referee is calling his water referees across to have probably just that very conversation there about that second delay of game. It's considered a very unsporting plan to sort of take it into the corner too often. It should be a guaranteed 2 minutes, and here we go. It looks like chief ref's going to override his colleagues in the water there. So second corner. Yep, so unfortunately the Colombians look like they're going to be facing yet another power play. Okay there, so obviously this gives a little bit of time there to sort of finesse some tactics. I think the Kiwis are going to be sort of very much along the case of let's keep it as it's going. More of the same, ladies. So let's see how they set up there. We've got an attacking formation. Obviously, when we call a sort of penalty play like that, it gives one of the reasons people like to try and play advantage for as long as possible is that by calling the time penalty, you give both teams, you give the defending team time to get everyone behind the puck, and so obviously make it slightly more difficult. So here we are, into the melee there. So they're now recycling, but Colombia look like they've got it, and as you can see there, they're taking it straight towards the wall. But unfortunately, yep, Kiwis have picked it up. But it looks like they may have picked it up illegally by using a stick foul, which is just, and what they call that for is by coming into contact with the bat or the hand first, rather than cleanly taking the puck only with the bat. Okay, Colombia have the resulting free puck, advantage puck there, and they've taken it away. We seem to have lost coverage underneath. There we are, back in. Okay there, lovely spin and turn there. Look at the space that the Colombian halfback had there, but unfortunately she's lost it there to the vice skipper again. But once again, it looks like she did that illegally, and she's, as I said to you before, she's scooped it there by coming underneath the arm. So if you come into contact with the arm or the bat before you strike that puck, it's considered a stick foul, and she's paying for that by going out for 1 minute there. That's the vice skipper from the Kiwis. So now we've got a change of fortune here. Now the Colombians are one up as their players now just re-enter the water. Let's see what they can do with that one player advantage. So yeah, some nice play again. Some nice turn, but unfortunately, possession is key. But if you do turn around a great deal, you don't actually make any tactical advantage and any territorial advantage up the pool. So if you do lose it, as we've got there, oh no, Colombia have retained the puck again, but it does look they retained it illegally. So once again, we now have it's all square in terms of players in the water, as the Colombian player 11 has been now sent out on that one. And unfortunately, I'm not able to furnish you with her name, so we just have to go with player 11 there for Colombia. Apologies. Okay, resulting play there. Colombia seem to have secured it and have taken it towards the wall, but now they're trying to work on that switch. The switch can be a really telling play if you try and gather your opposition and all on one side. You leave loads and loads of space on the opposite side to sort of try and switch it, but it requires a very, very fast move and all of your players working together. Okay, New Zealand seem to have retained that again, and they're coming back in. Sorry, I shall just step out. Looks like a goal is potentially on there. Yes, well finished there, well finished. Unfortunately, it was well finished, but the last movement was off the glove, so it's considered a foul, therefore no goal, and advantage puck is awarded to Colombia on the 5, which is the 5 metre line. When the penalty happens, they all sort of have to stay on the imaginary sort of rectangle within the pool, which is 5 and 2 as it's called. So the puck must always be replaced after penalty, more than 2 metres or 2 metres minimum off the side walls and 5 metres off the end wall. Okay, so Colombia sort of carefully retaining there. Some nice skill there, just turning and protecting. And then obviously we have the tussle there. Surprised that wasn't actually called for use of the left hand there, clearing the player out of the way there by New Zealand. Oh, and there we have it. Yes, and that is the call. So number 9 is going for a breather, it looks like. Sometimes it's rather jokingly said that number 8. Sorry, apologies there. So that is Rachel Calhoun. So yeah, Colombia resulting free puck, advantage puck there. They're making some good progress there. They're generally renowned for being a very strong team on the wall. This seems to be a theme with an awful lot of sort of nationally Colombians play. Notice there we've got some sort of lovely sort of repeated turns and sort of still driving up the wall. So you'll notice there we've made a few metres there territorially. We're at another stoppage. The danger of that is you end up using the free arm in making those turns and sort of protecting and putting your hand up to stop the things. New Zealand have conceded yet another free puck. They've got another player that looks like they might be out for a time penalty, and in fact they've called a sort of team timeout there. So they've got a bit of a minute's rest to have a bit of a breather, a bit of a rethink, and to sort of work again sort of get some tactics there. You know, one of the things in here is it's also a good opportunity just to clear the brain, take a good few breaths on board, get rid of some of that oxygen deprivation. All right, and work on it. Tactically, team timeouts can be a very useful thing. You know, teams can sort of you can get ahead of yourself, you can run away with things, you can let the pressure get to you. Gives you an opportunity just literally to calm down, rethink, reset, get ready to go again. So here we go. We're resetting. Colombia are starting. They've got a very, very close grouping here, so it looks like they may well be coming in force in a bit of a wedge formation. They're all really close. You've got the 4 of the 6 on the floor there, and here comes number 5. The fullback is sort of just sitting there in a covering position behind the play, and we've got that wedge coming in, as I said. Okay, but New Zealand seem to have cleared it again. It looks like they may have, this time the Colombians may have come in a bit too hard, and it looks like there we are. One of the Colombians there is being called for bringing it in too hard. And it's the number 3 there that seems to be being identified as the culprit. Again, for a stick foul. So the referees by this stage, we're quite late on now coming into the dying moments of the first half. Just coming up to 90 seconds to go, and yes, they've sort of lost their patience, I think it's fair to say. So you get a few gifts. You'll just get the initial penalty, but if people believe they're doing it persistently or repeated fouls, then time penalties start occurring, and it can really make a big hit here. Some really nice work there, laying off, but unfortunately wasn't awake to the fact that the covering Kiwi player had come in and sort of blindsided and stolen it there. Okay, lovely little slice, we call that, where a sort of a rapid change of direction, kicking in off the wall at the 45 degrees. But this is a gloving foul, so the Kiwi player there sort of caught slightly unawares, conceded the foul by coming in and striking the puck there with her glove. Okay, once again we've got a sort of a bridge formation, and we're back up to all square personnel-wise. The Columbia player's got about another sort of 4 or 5 seconds left of here she comes now. Okay, but once again, another little strike here. They're going at the 45s. They seem to be spending a lot of time away from the middle of the pool. This really does some really strong work there on the wall by Kiwi. No, just notice the numbers they've got there in support. Just waiting for any sort of half spillage to come back, and they're just there in good numbers. You know, no real control there. It's really good stuff. Okay, some just sort of tit for tat. There's no real progress being made, but then Columbia do get a breakthrough. But they are going to call that back, I feel. They are going to bring that back. And that is for the time. That is the end of the half. So, still remains, as it has now for the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes. New Zealand has to be described as being in good control there. They've got the first 2 goals there. Still being played at a really good sort of solid pace. But there seems to be quite a lot of stoppages at the moment. You know, and they are now going for time. Who knows how much this will take effect when players are getting tired. This is the end of a long championships. Obviously, this is their gold medal match. So those reserves are tucked into, and they're all ready to go. So here we are. So team briefings. More of the same, probably from the Kiwis. I don't know. I hate to speculate as to what the Colombians are going to say, but they're working very solidly on the wall. Maybe they need to be sort of changing format, changing tack a little. Perhaps looking to sort of just initially go to the wall, but then to sort of bring it into the centre of play. Use some of those power runs, coming in at those sort of 45-degree angles, slices as we call them, where you end up with a run going at 45 across the pool from one diagonal to the other. And then the slice is when the player behind you then just sort of drops that puck off, leaves the puck behind them, and then it's 90 degrees the other way, so going towards the other diagonal. Can be a really devastating play. So maybe that's the sort of thing that the Colombians perhaps need to be looking at to sort of head back to parity in this match. I can give you an update from the other pool there. We have the under-23 finals, I believe, and they're running just a few minutes ahead of the pool here in Pool 2. And the update for you there is that New Zealand, I hope it's not a spoiler if you got it saved, but New Zealand are currently 3-1 up against Australia with a minute gone in the second half. Okay, so coming back to Pool 2. We're about to get the 30-second whistle for the 3 minutes of half time. For those of you that might not be fully familiar with this, the format for the knockout stages of the Underwater Hockey World Championships is we have 15 minutes per half, and if the Colombians manage to get these 2 goals back, this deficit back, and we're all square at the end, then we'll go to 2 periods of 5 minutes aside, 5 minutes a half of extra time, and if there is no goal at that, then we go to a sudden death playoff, which just starts and goes until one team scores the goal, at which point they will be the winner. Okay, but there's a long way to go. We've got 15 minutes of normal play before that. And we do need some significant change You need to be very careful there. If you can see there, the Colombian player was just sort of bringing that along the wall with the puck tucked behind them. It's well protected. But what they need to do, as they're coming along, they cannot come into contact with the other player. You're allowed to sort of push the puck in front of you. That's no problem. You're allowed to hold it behind you like that. But if you come into contact with a player that's in front of you and you swim into them, then you're committing the foul of barging, which is using your body illegally. So the premise is that any player is allowed to be anywhere in the water where they want. So if they get there first, that's fine. But providing they're not making an active block and actually sort of trying to stop a player from going past, you're allowed to occupy your own little piece of real estate. It's not a problem. So here we are, early on. Kiwis again, they're sort of coming into the pool. You'll notice that their style seems to be changing a little bit here. They're trying to keep it more in the centre of the pool. They're looking to actually, well, being in the lead as they are, they're looking to take it away from the wall, keeping it in the middle. Right, one of the referees on the water there out of sight. He's just currently playing at advantage, so an offence has been seen, but it appears that it's an offence for the New Zealand ladies here, so an offence by Colombia there, so that's why they're playing the advantage. If they appear to lose it, then we'll probably go back to that penalty, but a sufficient amount of time has gone. It looks like that could be another goal line clearance. It looks like that was good. So we're just having a check here. Yes, the goal is good. No penalty. Therefore the goal. I'll just try and get you the goal scorer there. Doesn't appear to have been shown. Obviously, the ladies are all going to be very, very keen. Okay, the final score is important, but they're also going to be very keen on an individual basis to make sure that any goals that they score, they're very, very proud of them. They're going to make sure they want to know who it is there. It's been shown here as Kaylin, I believe. Sorry, pronunciation very poor there. So just increasing that advantage there. So New Zealand are sort of, I don't suppose they're going to rest on their laurels. They're not going to let the intensity come down. But it's all on the Colombians now. The Colombians have to really sort of chase the game, which has the effect. If they're chasing the game, if they're trying to apply lots of pressure, they're putting people on the offence. Then what happens is you end up with holes appearing at the back because you make that commitment going forward. So don't be surprised if this scoreline does change for the worse for the Colombians as they're pressing. You know, the switch is on, as I was saying earlier on. You notice all the players there, all within a very, very narrow margin of pool. Okay, so the process is they're sort of sucking them in there on the surface, just on the behind there at 45 degrees from the play is the number 12 Kiwi, which is Sarah Preston, and here she comes down. She's just set up, just waiting for that puck to spit off and come flying round there on a nice drive on the left. And here we go. Here, just as we were describing there, we've got a really, really strong drive towards the centre of the pool. Initially lost it. The Colombians have come back in again. They've taken it back towards that first wall, and here comes the inevitable foul. It just seems like. Okay, and there's a stick foul. So they had a team warning in the first half. It seems like our water referees perhaps giving them the benefit of the doubt, perhaps taking a little pity, or perhaps he's having a bit of tiredness creeping in there for him. So we haven't actually got a penalised player on the side for that. Some fresh legs in there from Colombia. And a good solid tussle there. It's very difficult here with the puck sort of in that sort of bait ball effectively. You get a real sort of melee, and it seems like it's come through. I don't know if they're going to call that. It looks to me like the last Kiwi hand once again. The goal line the score line would be looking a lot better for the Kiwis here if they hadn't had a couple of occasions now where their last act has been pushing it in off the glove. So once again, that's a goal not standing, even though the goal actually got in the tin then. We do have some nice solid movements there, as you see. We've got the Colombians now trying to move it around. As I say, that it is leaving them that little bit open. Those gaps are appearing. You know, obviously fatigue is setting in as well. This has been a long tournament. And yes, there we go, smashing it in there on the wall. We are going to get a call there for the Kiwi, even though underhand has come through with a hand upside down, so their action is hitting the puck and with the glove. Although it seems to have been, ironically enough, it seems to be called against the Colombians first there. Okay, so New Zealand may have got away with one there for free. Okay, in they come. Once again into the melee. So whilst containing, the Colombians are doing a good job here, largely of keeping the puck well away from their danger area, just in front of the tin. But it's still sort of far too easy really for the Kiwis. And once again, that's that lovely little flick back, pass it off at 45 degrees, and then look to come right into the centre of the pool. Really danger area there. But they've sort of got a half retrieve here. We look for the curl. Second player in there, just sort of holding it into the corner, just checking around, waiting for the third. Remember again, if third player comes in, takes possession, we're going to get called again for that corner rule if they're not careful. If they bring it out beyond a metre from the corner, that number resets. So if we go, so you can see there, when we look at these things, if we look at those nice blue lines that conveniently put there for those swimming types, we know that the distance roughly between those two blue lines is a couple of metres. So when play is being, as a referee, when we're sort of resetting play, we can sit there and say, well, roughly sort of 1.5 blue lines is our 3 metre space between where the offence occurs and where the defending team following one of these pucks has to go back to. Obviously, they still have to start with that play 5 metres away from the wall. So here we go, we've restarted. Coming in directly on that 45, coming in nicely. But it looks like that sort of the front line of Colombian defence there has made some good work there. Although, having said that, you know, the Kiwis are recycling well. But yet we've got the double teaming there, so one Colombian player either side. So they've managed to squirrel that back. But once again, lots of movement, some lovely movement here in this gold medal match. So again, once you can see nicely here that the New Zealand ladies here are sort of looking fairly secure there. And the formation is losing a bit of sort of cohesion there from the Colombians because they are just chasing the game. So you end up with sort of individual one-on-one skill, and holes appear, and where holes appear, goals can surely follow. Lovely little clean up there by the halfback. We squirreled it through, and here we go. Fullback just makes that initial tackle, but recycling, possession is still being maintained by New Zealand there. And again, the drive, expect the curl, launch back into the centre, or drive through, and yeah, there we are. This looks almost dead cert for another goal. And there we have it. Goal signalled. All 3 water referees agree. So as the footage you're seeing there is, they sort of do a mini hand action. They sort of point to each other, a couple of fingers first, which is asking the question: is there any reason why I cannot award this as a goal? If everyone agrees, then the larger sort of double arm signal over the head goes, followed by obviously signifying which player it was. Okay, we appear to have a team timeout from Colombia again. They've really they're running out of time here now, guys. They're 4 goals down, and we only have sort of just under 6.5 minutes of normal play. A really big hill to climb here. Okay, down to 12 seconds here now. Ready to go from the off. Team timeouts, incidentally, can only be called at a natural break of play. So after a goal is scored, or if the actual clock has been stopped and the players are on the surface for an advantage puck, for an equal puck, for example. Coming up into these towards the last few minutes, in the last 2 minutes of play, for those of you that that are interested, any stoppage at all results in the time being suspended. Whereas during the rest of play, unless for a referees or a team timeout, Colombia have now got the advantage there. An indiscretion, a minor one, because we don't appear to have been sent any time penalty for the Kiwis ladies. As I was saying, coming into those last 2 minutes, every stoppage actually results in the clock stopping to avoid situations, because it's deemed to be very unsporting if you've got a goal up and then you were seen to be sort of deliberately trying to kill the clock to retain possession. That's actually the sort of the basis by which this sort of corner rule was brought into play. Okay, that's one of the New Zealand ladies there being caught for illegally stopping the puck. An open palm there by the water referee, sort of moving vertically, which suggests that an errant fin or some other part of the body was actually sort of brought into play to stop the puck as it was flicked forward. Unfortunately, we just appear to momentarily lose a bit of VT there, but we're back on. A lovely, nice little move there, but unfortunately read very well there by the Colombian player. But once again, we've got a really nice drive there along the wall there. Some really powerful moves there actually on both wings. So once again, we've got that situation where the players tucking the puck behind it before going forward, and again, they just need, as I said, they need to be very careful about making that. But we might have a break on here now. Laying it off there to the player behind, looking to turn and then come back the same way. So snaffled, it's seen off, but we need to make some moving up to hit the pool here, ladies. But yes, the foul there being referred to, another stick foul. So this is a stick foul by the Colombian who came in that initial break and took out the first play. Okay, team timeout there by New Zealand. Each team has one timeout that they're allocated per half, and obviously that's a minute each. It gives everyone the opportunity, if they wish to, all players can come into the pool at that point. Whereas at any other time, barring the end of time play, if all of the players, they can only have 6 in the water as a maximum. If any of the players come in, you have the illegal substitution rule taken into play. An advantage puck is given to the opposing team, and the offending player is dismissed for 1 minute. Okay, the coach is quite a Colombian coach there on the side, was sort of giving some really good sort of feedback to his players in the bin, and it looks like it was sort of suggesting that people need to be protecting the puck coming around, but then driving really hard. Not bad for reading sign language from 30 feet away. Okay, some good moves. They are doing just as he said. They're laying it off nicely, but it's then intercepted. And one of the things that they're finding unfortunate now is that by doing this, doing this, they're getting read just a bit too easily by the Kiwi ladies there. Another really good drive. The Kiwis are just doing a really good job. They're just recycling. They're looking in control. There isn't that sort of everyone throttling around looking like they're panicking. Although it's a nice drive here now, and an advantage being played. If the Colombians then lose the puck, I can see that an advantage will be called for them. But it appears that they decided that enough advantage was played, and so they're carrying on going. Another little melee there on the wall. There seems to be a bit of a theme here for the game. That both sides are very content to spend a lot of time very close to the wall. It's coming off now at the 45. So sort of taking angles straight off the wall there towards the centre of the opposition tin. Have they not got zoom at this point? Zoom got plugged in. So it's only pan. Okay, maybe there's an opportunity here for. I think it's pretty much maybe a bit early to call this, but with 2 minutes to go, 4 goals down, it may well just be looking to seek a consolation goal here by the Colombians. Okay, once again, nice setup, looking for that wedge going forward, bodies in front of the puck, sort of protecting, trying to cut down any opportunity for any space for the defending halfbacks to come flying in between the 2 forwards. But unfortunately, they've just left a bit of room there, so New Zealand coming away quite content now to take it to the wall. Look, bracing against the wall there. That's actually allowed. If the hand goes on the top, as we had there, if they brace and hold onto the wall, that's considered to be unsporting-like behaviour, and then would result in a foul. But there we are. They've braced against the wall. That's fine. And another really good run. Chip and charge as they go along. And as we were saying before, the Colombians have sort of committed pretty much everything into this sort of forward move, so they're really sort of struggling coming back now. We do have a nice switch on though. Can they keep it together, recycle and make further progress? Still retaining possession there. Some lovely sort of retention of the puck there. Some nice turns, but it's still sort of territorially. They're just sort of going sideways across the pool far too much here. They're not making any incisive moves, not making any ground, and that's at the end of the day. That's where they seem to have just sort of fallen short. They just haven't had the power runs they have been ones going sideways, going laterally across the pool, as opposed to this here, which is a good move, good recover, but still retaining that possession there. Okay, the foul was called there, and the Colombian player there, number 10, which I believe is Medi. Colombian player there is Camila, and she's heading to the bin there for another minute. Okay, I think we're coming in just the final seconds here. 20 seconds to go. You'll hear the very large enthusiastic support squad that the New Zealand camp has brought. Shortly will all erupt almost as one as we're going down. We're going down pretty much now into the very last dying seconds. Number 4 just out for a few moments there, but she'll be soon jumping in the water there and celebrating the gold medal there for the under-23. So there we are. That is last 6 seconds, and here comes the countdown from the supporting fans. And there you have it. If it wasn't clear already, there we are. That's years of hard work for these ladies, and they've done a really good job there. Final score there: Colombia 0, New Zealand 4. And there we have it. Joined in the centre there, all of the squad of 12. So the unfortunate thing is the team has 12 players, of which obviously 10 are there assigned for any one game. So there's always got to be 2 people that are disappointed, obviously happy there with the goal. They're chanting there to finish, but 2 sort of spectators at the end. But it's a long competition, so they will all have played their part. Years of hard work, ending in a nice shiny gold medal. Very happy. And here we are, panning around the crowd, looking at just some of the rather partisan support there from the White Leafs of New Zealand there. The White Fern, sorry, apologies. And the Colombian ladies, obviously very disappointed, but they've come in here and they'll be going away with the silver medal. Poor consolation, but they really wanted it. But the better team today, just outclassed, unfortunately.
Great job. Thank you very much, Nathan. New Zealand winning 4-0 over Colombia. Colombia never managing to score a goal past New Zealand in 3 matches. That's how much New Zealand dominated this under-23 category. We're going to close the stream down now on court 2 because it's all hands on deck. We've got 50 minutes to get ourselves ready for the Women's Elite Final. Mobile cameras galore down on poolside. We'll see you very shortly. Go and take a break. I know it's middle of the night in Australia, New Zealand, but I know you